Well, hello there, Tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and this is the first video of 2025, and in front of us, I will be reviewing the GSOR Fearless, which is a tank I have had on my press account for a long while, but until people have actually received it from ratings, I was not able to make a review on it, but I am finally able to do that for you guys right now. So we're going to break into the tank stats, starting things off, and then I will go over some live gameplay and show you how this tank plays in battle. So let's break into the tank stats first off, starting with the gun. Now, this thing is kind of a GSOR Fearless, but it's actually the first Fearless tank that has a lot of differences compared to its normal variant. So its first main difference is that it's not an autoloader. The GSOR, obviously, as many of you know, is a two-shot autoloader that fires Hesh. This thing also fires Hesh, but it is only a single shot, which is where the differences start. So you have about 300 more DPM with the single shot gun on this tank compared to the normal GSOR. You have a lot worse aim time, though. I will say this thing has about 0.8 seconds worse on its aim time. Overall dispersion is quite a bit better, though, so you kind of trade the aim time for the better dispersion, which I actually kind of like on this tank. In terms of your pen, very, very similar pen going for both of these tanks. So you won't really struggle to pen tier 8 or tier 7s, but against tier 9s, you obviously will struggle, especially since you don't have premium shells per se. You don't have heat or APCR premium, you have Hesh. Another difference between this and the GSOR is the alpha damage. You deal 330, which is 20 less than the GSOR, and your high explosive, your Hesh, deals a lot less as well. Compared to the 440 damage the GSOR deals, you only deal 380, and same with your HE. So overall, this is going to do a lot less damage than the GSOR, but because you have a lot more DPM, it kind of evens it out, and I honestly do like the single shot on this tank. And another main difference between this and the normal GSOR is the mobility. This tank goes 44 forward instead of the 49 that the normal GSOR goes. It also has 1 km/h worse reverse speed. You have better hull turn rate, though, I will say that, and the exact same power to weight. Now, why is that, considering this tank has the exact same armor profile? Well, if you look down in your consumables, you will notice this thing has improved engine power boost, which means you will actually go faster in reverse than the GSOR, the normal GSOR, as well as you will get up to a top speed that is also higher than the normal version when you are using this consumable. Obviously, that is only temporary, so once that is over, then you will be back down to being slower, but it honestly does help, and especially with the reverse speed of this tank with engine power boost, it's really nice to be able to get out of situations much faster. One more thing I did forget to mention about the GSOR Fearless before I do get into some gameplay is I run supercharge on this thing. Simply because the shell velocity on this tank is horrible. I don't know how else to say this, but if you guys don't run supercharge, you're going to find that, especially sitting further back, which this tank has to do because you have no armor, you're going to miss a lot of shots just because of how slow your shells are and how long they take to actually hit your targets. So I recommend you use supercharge, but whoever has this tank watching this video, test it out for yourself and see what you like. So we're going to get into our live gameplay right now and see what this thing is capable of on the battlefield. Here we are, Port Bay for game number 1. And we are top tier, so this is very good because I'm going to be able to test out that Hesh damage as well as pen to actually be able to pen my opponents. A tier 9 game, obviously, like I said before, would be kind of annoying in this tank, but tier 8 and tier 7s are going to be pretty easy to pen for the most part. So we're going to make our way using our super speed boost because of this tank's power to weight is not very good into the front line right here. I'm hoping that my team goes this way as well. Please don't go town. Please don't go town. Oh my god, what is my team doing? All right, well, I was going to play a little bit more aggressive than this, but I have no idea what my team is doing. So we're going to sit right here, and I am not moving until my team decides to get their asses out of spawn. Their team is actually capping A. That's really odd. So I wonder if they're split. If they aren't, then I'm going to instantly flank C and try and get rid of their TDs. But this is so weird. It looks like their team actually did split. I absolutely hate this spawn on Port Bay. Because if your team doesn't push up to that ramp right there where C cap is, the enemy team can instantly just take over this entire side of the map, and it's very, very annoying to deal with. So I'm just going to keep sitting back here. I don't know what the Skoda's doing, trying to get behind me, but, oh well, whatever. I'm going to actually start shooting at this Yag Tiger now that I see him in the open. We're going to get one Hesh shell into him, and luckily for me, I have Supercharge, so I actually was able to hit that shot reliably. And you can see it does actually help a lot. For any of you who have played this tank without Supercharger, you will know that this tank definitely needs it. So we're going to try and hatch snipe this guy here. But actually, now that I see the SMV poking in the open, I'm going to slap a nice Hesh shell into him as well. And we're going to keep our Hesh loaded for this AT-25 right here. Oh boy. T-25 AT, that's what I meant to say. And now we're just going to keep using our nice DPM to really just get Hesh juicers into the enemy players. You can see having the single shot is quite nice in this sort of situation. I will say, though, I do prefer the GSOR's clip dumping damage, which is kind of why I prefer playing that tank in general. But I will say the DPM on this thing, especially while using Adrenaline, is quite nice for dealing with those lower tier opponents. Here we see the 252, and our aim time is very long, but because our dispersion is very good, you don't really have to fully aim in all the time, so I'll give the tank credit. Its dispersion is very, very nice. Here we get a nice 340 roll into that AMX as well, and now I need to back up because my team is still just camping in spawn, and I'm the one getting pushed on because, yeah, that's... I don't even know what this team's doing, guys. Oh, like, what am I looking at right now? Why are we all just sitting in spawn, bro? What are we doing? This has to be one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Like, what is this, bro? I actually can't even do anything because these guys are just sitting in spawn. Oh boy, that would have been nice to hit because I probably would have killed that Progetto, but unfortunately my shell said no, and this P43 needs to get his ass into the fight, bro. Like, kill that guy, please. Please. Come on. Oh my god, he just bounced. Okay, nice. Nice job, bro. Oh boy, I don't even know what to say. This is, this team is actually getting me a little bit pissed off right now because, like, why are we just sitting in spawn? I don't get it at all. You know what, though? Forget this horrible team. I'm going to make my way away from this Keeler. Unfortunately for me, the mobility on this tank is very mid. So, although I do have nice power to weight and good reverse speed while using speed boost, it's not going to help me out in this situation because that Keeler has basically the same top speed as me, which is really sad to say it. But we're going to get a nice 397 roll into his tank. We're at just about 3,000 damage. So, I mean, we've done a lot of damage this game, but my team was so bad that it's not actually going to matter. And if this Keeler decides to YOLO me, my game is actually over. So, we're going to try and sneak a shell into his turret. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter, and I can't see his turret to begin with. So, that sucks. And now we're going to see if I can maybe kill this guy here. Nice. We're going to lose on base cap, though, and simply because I don't have enough health, this is also going to be a loss. My teammates, again, this was just a bad team. I don't know what else to say. Unfortunately, the Keeler hits the shot, and I was unable to pen his lower plate. So, an insanely sad excuse of a team right there. But, I mean, the tank did well in that situation. We were still able to get out a decent amount of damage, but you can see how important it is to play behind your team. The second my team decided to continue to camp in spawn behind me, I got instantly nuked by an AMX 1390 for all of my health. And you can see the drawbacks of this tank. No armor, no HP, equals a tank you have to play very passive with. And even if the gun is very nice on its DPM, it's a very difficult tank to play when your team does that. So hopefully game number 2 is going to go a little bit better in this tank, but we will find out. And here we are, battle number 2, and we are bottom tier. This is actually going to be a really good showcase of this tank's ability against tier 9 opponents, because there are a lot of tier 9s on each team. We have 4 on each, and they are pretty heavily armored tier 9s as well, minus the T92E1. So we'll see if our Hesh works out this battle, but I don't think it will. So in a tier 9 game like this, you have to play insanely passive if you don't want to get completely obliterated instantly. So excuse my hiccuping. I'm going to go to this bush right here because I can kind of overlook both sides of the map from this spot, and it doesn't really matter where my team goes. Unless their whole team pushes C, I should be chilling here. So we're going to wait here, see if anyone backs up or pushes into the open in mid. But from what it looks like, they're not doing that. And also their E50 is not showing me his turret. I'm just barely not tall enough to hit him, which is very sad. but maybe I can get a better angle on him if I push up a little bit more. Come on, E50, turn your turret. Wow, that sucks. That would have been nice to get a shell into him, but unfortunately not the case. I'm going to shoot this KV-4. Get a nice shot in him. It looks like their 50 TP is just pushing our T-54 Mod 1. Very aggressive here. And I think he's the only one over on heavy side here. So I'm not too worried about him at the moment. I am going to try and continue to pressure middle, though. Oh, boy, this is not good anymore. Okay, well. Scratch that. I need to help our teammate out because he is getting YOLO'd by 3 tanks, 2 of which are tier 9s. And he's not going to live very long. That's really sad, actually. There goes our T-54 Mod 1. The T-92, I can maybe get a shell into. But, I mean, you can see here, I can't do anything. Our team is just throwing their HP away for no reason. And there's nothing I can do to help them because, obviously, I don't have the HP or armor to really support frontline. So, and you can see my Hesh isn't even enough to pen the 50 TP's lower plate. So, yeah, I'm basically just stuck here hoping that the TP shows me his side of his turret. And we hit him for a lovely 29 damage. Wow, what a lovely amount of damage that was. Maybe I can get a shell into this Jagdtiger. There we go, 367 roll into him. I am basically just trying to be an annoyance at this point. The T-92E1 is my main target that I'm going to try and get out of the game because he has the mobility and he can easily nuke me for all of my HP. But it looks like he's got other plans and he's kind of just YOLOing away. However, now the Jagdtiger is looking at me, and no one's really here to punish him for it. So I'm going to try and Hesh this GSOR here. We do hit him once. He is on a reload now, but you can see where the clipping firepower of the normal GSOR is just kind of superior over this tank here. I will hopefully be able to get my shells back in time to kill him before he can kill me. Oh my god, I hit his spaced armor. Bruh. Oh my god, I should have shot his turret, bro. I thought that was a piece of armor I could have penned. But, I mean, you can see even the extra DPM on this tank doesn't exactly make it so you're going to win every single time against a normal GSOR. So the battle is officially over. So we're going to see what we did. But yeah, 2,800 damage in a battle like this is pretty solid. I could have done a little bit more if I didn't screw up that last shell, but it is what it is. It happens. Still a solid result for game number 2. And we did pick up the victory this time, which is a very nice change from that horrible team I got first off. And we did top on the team, so very solid stuff from the tank there, even in an awkward situation like that. Alrighty, let's try and get into battle number 3 and see what the tank can do in the final game of the video. And here we are in Fort Despair. I did have to cut out a couple of the games that I had previously to this because this game is full of steamrolls today for some reason. I have done like multiple games where I've done just over 2,000 damage, which is like, it's okay, but it's just a 7-0 sweep. Like, I can't really show anything about this tank in a battle that lasts 2 seconds. So hopefully this game lasts more than 2 seconds, and hopefully I can farm a little bit more damage. But if that's not the case, then I'll just show this game anyways, because yeah, I'm kind of done with the steamroll games in this video. So we're gonna make our way towards mid here and hopefully get a shell into that mill. He is kind of poking, very nice. 451 roll is excellent as well. And yeah, Fort Despair is not a bad map for this tank because it is closer quarters. And you might be thinking, well, this tank has no armor and no HP, so close quarters might not be very good. But if their team makes a play like this, then you can do a lot of good things because it allows your accuracy to work. A lot of the longer range maps, the accuracy on this tank kind of struggles, even with its good dispersion, because how slow the aim time is. So on a map where you're going to be fighting people close quarters, you're going to have a better time dealing with them. So here we go. Here is the Quetzal out of all tanks. Lovely stuff to see that thing. I don't know who decided to play that tank randomly without donations, but there we go. We do get a normal HE into the RHM for 400. Very nice stuff. And I'm going to try and hit this Quetzal's lower plate, but there was a box in the way. So, yeah, I did not hit him there. Very sad that that missed. And he's actually going to push me, which is very weird. I don't know why he's pushing me. But we do get a nice kill shot into that WZ-131, bro. I can't speak right now either. Anyways, we're going to start HEing this Quetzal in the lower plate there. 398 roll. This guy does not have the DPM this tank does, so I should be able to pen him again. There we go. And you can see the Quetzal has literally no armor, so I can pen him in between the track and the mud guard right there, which is very interesting. But I do see that Charlemagne in front of us, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here to not get shot by him. But I'm not really worried about trading with this this Quetzal anymore, or Quetzal, whatever you want to call it, because he's now a one-shot. I don't really care about him anymore, so I'm going to move over to the other side where the Emil 1 is located, because I can hopefully farm him in the side for a lot of damage here if he doesn't target me. I'm worried about him tunneling me, though. I will say that. I'm going to play it passive. I think the Emil 1's going to push up, which would be nice if he shoots at the Lightbringer instead of my tank. So we'll see what happens. There he is. Gets one shell into the Lightbringer. Maybe he's going to shoot him again. I don't know. But yeah, right now I'm just going to play super passive here. Hopefully, if he dumps his last shell, nice. Okay, I'm pushing this Emil now, right now. Okay. Get one into his lower plate right there. And come on. Another one, please. Bruh, 13 damage. Nice stuff, bro. I actually might die to this Emil because that was a horrible shot right there. And come on. Nice, dude. Okay. That was really sus. Oh my god, bro. I could have just loaded AP again. Almost killed myself from shooting Hesh in a bad spot. But, oh well. Let's see if I can actually aim in and pen this guy in the lower plate once. And now I'm going to load my AP so I can just kill him normally, because I don't want to have the same situation happen where I die because I load my HE. And there we go. Finish him off with an AP. And that was actually a pretty solid game. Less of a steamroll and more of a good showcase of what this tank is capable of when you get the HE working. So there you go. Victory for game number 3. And we did 3,500 damage. Did we ace the tank for the final battle? Let's find out when Wargaming loads my stats. And yes, we did in fact ace it. Very nice stuff. So, excellent battle right there. Showing you what this tank can do when you are top tier. And it's a very fun tank to play, I will say. I do also like the look of it too. I don't know how many of you actually like the look of this tank, but I personally like the look of it a lot. That's the GSOR Fearless for you. Yeah, a pretty solid tank overall. I do still think the GSOR itself is better than the Fearless, but that's just my opinion because I do like having that extra clipping damage. So, for any of you out there who have not yet subscribed to my channel, I highly recommend you do so, as it's a fantastic way to support content like this and stay up to date when I post videos almost daily. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.